You aren't on. You don't have a picture up yet.
Okay.
Okay. There we go. And we are going live on Facebook. 31 of our dearest friends are online.
That's awesome.
Hold on.
This is so awesome.
There you go.
We are so happy to see all of you.
And you.
And you. Yes.
How are you doing tonight?
This is awesome. Chime in and let us know where you are from. Give us your major city, nearest big city and state, and we will greet you. I am right now greasing some pans for the pumpkin bread, and I'm doing it the old-fashioned way with shortening. I like that best. What?
We've already had some guesses. Johanna said, "I love the sound of crunchy apples." That's what it was.
That's awesome. You did guess it. That's great. Okay.
And Tara Kellum's on. She says, "I think we need to make a trip to Arizona and taste it in person."
Oh my gosh. Yes, absolutely.
These baked apples are really good.
Okay.
Jennifer said, "I hear chopping."
Okay.
And Tara, so sweet. She shared this. Oh,
Thank you, Tara.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Karen says she can't hear.
Let
me turn the volume up a little. I don't want to
get feedback,
yet.
right, if we have it too
Annette,
high.
Annette is a singer.
Oh,
And
gosh.
she knows how to project, and so we have to watch the volume.
Okay, so not only am I greasing the pans, but I am also flouring them.
Okay, so why don't we
introduce ourselves?
Take it from the top.
Okay, this is Annette, and over there is Steve Economides from MoneySmartFamily.com, and tonight we are going to show you two of our fall favorites.
Look here.
Okay, the first one is pumpkin bread.
Okay.
And the second one is going to be baked apples. And so what you see me doing right now is flouring the pans. I've put shortening on them, but now I'm going to put flour on them because that helps the bread to come out much quicker and much easier. It's an extra step. Sometimes if I don't have the time, I can't get it done. But tonight, I'm going to take the time.
We've got people on YouTube chiming in from Colorado.
Okay.
From, I forget, I can't see all the comments right now, but
okay.
we've just got a lot of people coming on. So it's
each
awesome.
and every one of you. This is so much fun. There's some really awesome things that are on sale in the fall, and it's a great time to make. I mean, everybody has those pumpkin flavors out right now, correct? I mean, Starbucks, the donut shops, they all have pumpkin this and pumpkin that. So tonight I'm going to show you the pumpkin bread recipe, which is on our website at MoneySmartFamily.com. Steve will put up a link, and you'll see all the wonderful ingredients there. Okay, so we need to get going. We need to actually get the baked apples going. And so we're just going to cut apples for just a few minutes, and then I'm going to measure out the stuff for the pumpkin bread.
Okay, so we're going to start off. I'm going to give you the recipe page for the pumpkin bread. And on this page, we realized we never had PDF downloadable printable recipes on our pages. So we've been working on that. And I think that page...
The pumpkin bread is done, right?
Yep, that page is done.
Yay!
So I'm cutting some apples with an oversized knife because I just like big knives.
So what is the weather like by you? Out here, it's still 100 degrees during the day, but in the morning and at night, it's cooled off. And we are loving that. Absolutely loving that. I heard from somebody that it was going to be 27 degrees by then. I cannot wrap my head around that. Just can't wrap my head around that. So chime in and let us know, how cold it is by you. Are you eating soup yet? Soup is another one of those great things to eat when the weather gets cold.
And our apples on sale. Because because this is coming into apple season.
Yes.
And we got apples this week for 33 cents a pound.
Yes, we did.
Red delicious apples.
Yep. So for baked apples, you don't need the tart apples that you would need for an apple pie, because you actually want the apples sweeter for baked apples, and it makes a great side dish.
Well, let's introduce this segment that we're going to do here, and then we're going to come back to pumpkin bread.
Right.
But we're talking about making baked apples that
Yes.
we first tasted at our favorite restaurant when we're traveling, Cracker Barrel.
Cracker Barrel.
Cracker Barrel. Cracker Barrel.
Yes. Cracker
And so
Barrel.
Annette did a little bit of research, and Cracker Barrels, I think they're from a can. I'm not positive, but
No, I don't
they're
think so.
peeled apples, and we make them. We leave the skin on, so you get the fiber and the nutrients. And this is just a real simple recipe because it's got butter, margarine, sugar.
Butter or margarine.
Right,
A
sugar.
little bit of brown sugar.
And
then some spices. Right, some spices. And it just depends on what I feel like as to what I throw in. So I already have pulled out cinnamon and nutmeg for the pumpkin bread. So that's probably what I'm going to put in the baked apples. You can also throw in cloves, a little bit of cloves if you want to. You can throw in a little bit of coriander or some allspice or some pumpkin pie spice. Really, the sky is the limit on what you throw in.
And you could throw amaretto and chocolate chips in.
No, not in baked apples.
Oh.
That wrecks the whole thing. But I do want to show you all something that I'm pretty excited about.
Now we cut the apples, just so you know, we cut the apples in eighths.
Right.
We don't make them too thin because otherwise they just get super, super mushy. But we cut them in eighths and then just stick them in a big 8-quart pot.
Okay, so Steve's birthday is this coming weekend, and so we're having a big party with the kids and grandkids on Sunday. And so today, I don't know if y'all can see this, I made, instead of a rum cake, I made an amaretto cake because that's one of Steve's favorites. And oh gosh, it smelled so good while it was baking.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I made the glaze and I put the glaze on it, we're also going to have a Halloween carnival for our grandkids. And we think probably several of our kids will jump in and play some of those games. And we'll try to record all of it and post that as a video.
Or we'll do it live, probably on,
I don't
on
know.
YouTube. We can do YouTube live.
Okay, I don't know if we'll do live or not, but we'll definitely record it and put it together, and it'll be up on a blog or and then eventually on YouTube for sure. But we've had so much fun this week preparing for that. Okay, so you want to go field some comments so I can get some feedback, and I am picking, because I'm actually making this ahead for Sunday. I'm gonna cook it up and get it all ready, and then we'll just put it in the refrigerator and heat it up when all the kids get here with the meal.
Well, Hope thinks the cake is beautiful, and several people sent me birthday wishes.
Aww.
I'm going to be 30 years old for the second time.
Right, that's crazy.
Upstate New York says Reich generally is warmer than usual. They're enjoying it.
Nice.
This is the time of year when some places can be like in the 80s one day and
Yes.
the 20s the next day.
Yes.
Houston, it's 90 today.
Oh my gosh.
It's rainy and 70s or 60s, but she didn't say where it was, so she made veggies for dinner. This is Angela.
Okay.
Colorado, Amanda says is going to be nice this weekend, but it'll be Monday. It'll be 42 degrees. Yeah, the weather just starts. swinging
Wow.
over.
That's crazy to have swings in weather like that.
Oh, somebody, Laura has flood watch there.
Oh gosh.
Tara says snow in Colorado on Monday. Yay!
Oh, it's so hard to wrap my head around that.
Oh gosh. Okay, so
All right.
You're cutting up the apples. And
We are.
usually what we'll do is we'll do this when our kids were living here. You know, we'd have 3 or 4 kids helping cut
Right.
them up, and we just sit and talk while we're doing it.
Right.
Now, some of those apples you're cutting in more than eighths
No.
because you just cut one piece. I thought you cut it into 3.
Oh, that's
but
true.
If it's a thicker piece, sometimes you'll do that. If it's a
That's
bigger
true.
piece, yeah.
Yep. So what is that then? 3 and 3
It's 12ths.
12ths. Craziness. Right, because the thinner you get it, the faster the apples will cook.
but you want them all to be consistent, so you don't want some turning to mush and then others.
Correct.
Okay, so Laura Ann asks, how many grandkids do you have?
At this point, we are up to 4 grandkids. And it is so exciting, just so exciting. And we get to see them on Sunday.
And Tara says she knew how old I was. She said I looked 30. And she
Tara.
said, Tara, she says Annette's 25.
Yeah, right.
We're recycling those years. You know, we kept the candles from back then so we can reuse them again.
Absolutely. Okay. So it's actually pretty nice in most places around the country right now, which is awesome. Fall weather.
Right.
Golly.
Well, I'm going to put up the baked apples recipe.
Okay.
And for those of you on YouTube, you're going to have to come over to the Facebook page to get these recipes because I can't do it on my
At least
phone.
while it's going live.
Right.
Yeah. Or just go to our website at moneysmartfamily.com/recipes because there's lots and lots of great, easy, yummy recipes. And pretty much everything that's posted there, we have tested ourselves.
So should I, while you're doing this, do you want to bring out some of the things, talk about some of the things we're doing? You're cutting this way too thin.
Really?
Do you want to talk about some of the things we're going to do tomorrow and bring up some of the little pumpkin things? Or do you
Sure.
want to...
Well, no. That'll be confusing.
We'll have to show you those later.
Yeah, we'll show you those later. Absolutely. Okay, so do you want to come over here and help me finish with the baked apples? So I basically put 1 stick of margarine in there, and we cut up, gosh, probably 9 or 10 apples. And it cooks on the stove for probably 20 or 30 minutes. And it is so yummy. I mean, really yummy as a side dish. I can't get it to look exactly like Cracker Barrel.
That's because you don't peel the apples.
True, but I do thicken it if it has juices at the end before I serve it. I'll thicken it with some cornstarch that's liquefied with water, and then I'll just dump that in, and it'll make the juice into a nice glaze for the apples, which is really yummy.
Okay, so this
Yummy,
is
yummy.
an 8-quart pot.
An 8-quart pot,
This
yes.
pot is 36 years old.
Yeah. It's a Farberware pot, and I use it for everything.
So you see it's getting pretty full.
Yes. Delish. Okay. Almost there. Almost there.
And then all the scraps from the apple, we try to waste as little as possible.
Right.
They all go in the compost bucket.
Yes, they do.
If you guys have these, use these flexible cutting mats, these are really, really fun.
And out here you can find them at the dollar stores, which is like amazing. A set of 2 at the dollar stores, which is crazy because they're really awesome.
And they last a long time.
Okay, now I am going to put the brown sugar in, and I prefer brown sugar as opposed to white sugar. I like that a whole lot more. It just has a little bit of a caramel type flavor. And so into the pot it goes. Now these are already sweet apples, so I'm probably doing like a 1/2 cup of packed, the equivalent of a 1/2 cup of packed brown sugar. And I'm going to throw in some spices now. And we talked about this earlier, since I already have the cinnamon pulled out for the pumpkin bread, and I have nutmeg pulled out, so those are going to be my spices. But you can put in a whole bunch of other kinds of spices, from pumpkin pie spice to cloves to a little bit of coriander to allspice. All of them work on baked apples, absolutely all of them, and they are yummy. Okay, so onto the stove it goes. A medium heat. Okay, here it is. It's on, it's cooking. And I need a lid. Where am I going to find a lid for this? Okay. All right, the second thing that we're going to do while those are cooking is we're going to make our...
But we're going to pause for a second
yes.
and talk about how these recipes are not quite in our second book. There are a bunch of recipes in the back.
Yes.
We do have the chocolate chip zucchini bread, which is essentially the same as the pumpkin bread. We also have banana bread, cheese muffins, which we shot a few weeks ago
Yes.
with you guys. And we got, my killer pancake recipe.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you gotta have that.
Delish.
We just had vegetable soup tonight. That was good. So there's all kinds of recipes in the back, and we are working on a cookbook. We just don't know when it's going to be done. We've got a Word document with more than 60 pages of recipes, single-spaced. So it's going to be a pretty good-sized book. But you can pick up this. This talks about all kinds of grocery shopping strategies, how we cut our grocery bill in half, and more without even using a lot of coupons.
Right.
So you don't need to use coupons to save money.
Correct. Can you turn, because I'm going to be over here
Go
now.
over there to our
I'm going to be over here where
KitchenAid mixer.
I set up the KitchenAid mixer that Steve has actually rebuilt several times. Who wears out a KitchenAid mixer? It's kind of crazy, but I do, because I do a lot of cooking. Okay.
Honestly, the parts to rebuild it have cost us less than $40.
That's true. Okay, now sometimes I'm going to talk about pumpkin bread now. And what I want to say is sometimes I'll use fresh pumpkin that I've cooked the pumpkin, and that's on the website as well under recipes called Pumpkin Cooking. But today, back up. Time out. Last year I didn't end up with pumpkins after Halloween, and so
Would you like to get them for free?
yes, I do like to find them for free. Sometimes churches that have pumpkin patches after Halloween, they'll be free. Sometimes people buy pumpkins for decoration, but they don't want to do anything with them, so you can get free pumpkins that way. I just didn't do it last year. So I am actually using canned pumpkin, but I got it on sale after the season. It was being cleared out in like March or April, and it was 99 cents for a giant can. So I got some pumpkin. Okay, so I'm going to talk you through how I do this pumpkin bread. There'll be all kinds of tips and tricks that we're going to talk about. I pre-measure the ingredients because on pumpkin bread cooking day, I make so many loaves that if I don't pre-measure and I get interrupted, I inevitably will leave something out and things will be messed up. So here is the flour, and in with the flour I put the leavening. So I use it's 3.5 cups of flour. I use 1 cup of wheat and 2.5 of white, and then I put like the baking soda and the salt in with the flour. I added a little bit of baking powder. This is the sugar. I pre-measured the sugar. And I have been known, actually, when the kids were all little and running around and I had to deal with them, to forget the spices. So now I've not only pre-measured the sugar, but I put the cinnamon and the nutmeg in with the sugar.
So this is going to make 1 loaf of bread?
No. This recipe will make it'll make like 3 of these, or it will make, gosh, I don't even know how many. And I didn't pull out my linking pans tonight, but this is what I call the 3/4 size, and it'll make 4 of those. And then here's the medium size, and gosh, it'll probably make 8 of these. Or more. I don't know. I just would keep making it. And at Christmas time, we'd give it to all the neighbors, the postman, relatives, any service people, teachers, coaches, gosh, anything you're involved in, any club or activity you're involved in, you can hand out loaves of bread. So it's wonderful. And then last year, this one gal wrote in and said, I had so much fun this year. I got together with another girlfriend and we together spent all day baking loaves of pumpkin bread to give. And we divided them up because we each brought ingredients and then we went home. What a fun way to do your baking. And everybody loves a loaf of pumpkin bread. It's sweet, but it's not as sweet as some of the desserts that can be given out around the holidays. So it's a really, really fun thing. to make. Okay, so
And if you go to our website, to the bread page, you can see how Annette wraps them all up.
yes.
Because that's kind of a fun way to do
The
it.
other thing that is critical for chocolate chip pumpkin bread is mini chocolate chips. And I know Walmart has them. They're hard to find. Not every store carries them. The mini chips are fabulous because they're tiny enough that they will float throughout the entire batter. If you use the big chips, they sink to the bottom. So these distribute the chocolate more evenly, and they're just super, super yummy. So those are some of my little tips and tricks. I am going to get ready now, and I'm going to show you how I make it. I'm going to start with the eggs. I always start with the eggs. Okay, and I clean them out, and I'm washing my hands all day today, so I'm not going to worry about that. So here, it calls for 4 large eggs. In they go. Okay, we are good on the eggs. Now it's going to get noisy because I'm going to get the mixer going. Okay, the mixer is going.
I wish we could take a taste of that cake you made.
I wish we could too, but we have to be good, and we have to
If
wait.
you're here on screen, I can probably sleep over
No, you really can't. So what I like to do is I like to do the eggs first, and then where did my measuring cup go?
there.
Here it is. The oil next. It calls for a cup of oil, and I usually fudge a little bit on that, so I'll usually put in 7/8 oil, and it usually turns out fine. So in goes the oil. So the eggs in the oil. And next, I put in the sugar. Have you ever heard of the term creaming the sugar? Well, I probably could have done that first. If you've got butter in recipes, you put the sugar in with the butter. But I'm going to put it in right now. And remember, it's got the seasonings. It's got that cinnamon and the nutmeg in with it. It smells so good. And I'm just going to spoon it in with a large serving spoon, a little bit at a time. Just going to mix it in. Oh, we should have a link for a KitchenAid mixer. We didn't even think about that. I love this thing.
While that's mixing, why don't you talk about why we put links up?
Why we what?
Put links up.
Oh, we put links up because there are things that we believe in and like, and we get a small commission. They are affiliate links. It doesn't change your price at all, but it helps us defer fees to run the website. They charge you for every plugin out there. It's ridiculous. So it's a nice thing to have for helping with expenses.
But if they don't need to buy what we put up as a link.
True, absolutely. If you don't need what we have, but you have other things that you want to purchase on Amazon, we can still get credit for that. Okay, so why don't you check comments, see if we have any comments or questions. We haven't looked at that in a while, and I am basically just scooping in the pumpkin at this point. Calls for 1 28-ounce can. It's 29. All right, do we have any questions? Do you have any questions about pumpkin bread or baked apples?
More weather comments.
Okay.
Jennifer says they had hail in the 60s today. Jennifer
Wow.
Flood watch. Yep.
Okay. All right. If you had your choice between zucchini bread, pumpkin bread, or banana bread, what would you choose? Or actually, I'm going to throw a fourth one in there, and the fourth one will be cranberry orange bread.
Oh, I choose cranberry orange.
I have a great recipe for that, and we're probably going to do that one in November. So many great recipes. I had someone today ask me if I was going to do stuffing So I never thought about that, but I for sure have 3 stuffing recipes. There's so much great cooking around the holidays. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy.
I am going to try to
Okay.
get, for our friends on Facebook, I'm going to take them to the bread recipe page because it is so beautiful.
It is. We have so many great recipes there.
This may take me a second to do this.
Okay, so chime in. If you have your choice between banana bread, zucchini bread, pumpkin bread, or cranberry orange bread, what would you choose? And hopefully you'll weigh in and we'll see. And everybody can see what you're saying.
There we go. Okay, so I'm showing them a picture of this particular page. This is our bread recipe page, and at the top we list all of the recipes on the page. We've got cranberry bread, we've got zucchini bread.
We do, they're all
cheese
there.
muffins, chocolate chip banana bread, pumpkin bread, and a new one we just put up, monkey bread.
Oh yeah, monkey bread. That's
so
a
good.
really fun one.
And check out the pictures of this stuff.
We
It's
also
just amazing.
have Libby's pumpkin pie recipe.
I'm showing you the page right now.
Oh, okay.
We can go solo. Look, this is why I like the festive cranberry bread, because this is absolutely. I'm going to do this for our friends on YouTube. I'm going to hold it up here so they can see. So that's why I like the cranberry bread. It is absolutely delicious. And we got the pizza dough on there.
Pizza dough is very popular.
Oh, and the garlic bread. We've done this Annette has done this for weddings, just for dinners at home. And it is, it's a killer recipe. It's so simple. And we show you how
delicious.
to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Buttermilk bran muffins.
We'll do that some night. We can do garlic bread some night. That would be fun.
Yeah, I'll try and get you talking so we burn it.
Yeah, right.
Let's see what else. Orange cranberry bread. There's my pancake recipe. Oh, you got to try that. That's from scratch with whole wheat flour and regular flour and some special ingredients, but I bet you can't guess what it is. Amaretto.
Okay, now I'm adding...
Hold on, let's see if there's any more. It's cheese muffins. It just keeps going and going. And there's chocolate chip banana bread, and it keeps going. And there's the pumpkin bread. And we have a video with that one. And then it ends up with the gooey, delicious monkey bread. Oh my goodness, you got to try that.
Okay, I'm almost done putting the flour into the pumpkin bread. And I am adding some water. It calls for water to make it super moist and to activate the leavening stuff at this point. Okay, my timer is going to ding in just a minute. And
44 seconds.
I need to check I don't think the bread will be ready, the first batch, but I want to check it. All right, it's working hard. It is working hard. There is some yummy, yummy pumpkin bread in here. Yes, there is. All right. It is time for us to go over to the oven to see what is... Hopefully we're not going to mess anything up by moving over here.
Oh, they look great.
Do they look good?
They look great.
I don't think they're done though. That's the thing. All right, hush up. Oh, maybe they are. No, they're close. They're close. Ooh, so close. Okay.
Natalie Hill asks, what about pumpkin cranberry bread?
Ooh, I've never tried that. That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. Pumpkin cranberry bread. Talk about Thanksgiving all wrapped up in one, right? We have so many great recipes on the website. And we're adding more all the time. Like my candied yams are amazing.
So Danny Forts is on. He just saw Danny today.
Right.
Hi Danny. He says he likes pumpkin bread the best.
Okay.
And somebody else said
awesome.
happy birthday. And let's go. Oh, Danny. Danny's on. That's cool. So I'll have to bring you in some pumpkin bread next week, Danny.
Absolutely, you do.
And let's see what other kind of comments we got over here. And then we will...
We're getting close to wrapping this up.
Somebody replied, "Oh my goodness, I first heard about you when your kids were little. When we started writing and doing TV appearances and everything, Abby, our youngest, was 9 years old.
Yes.
And
Yes,
now
yes.
she's 23
23,
and
yes.
married and has 2 dogs.
2 dogs, absolutely. And she's going for her master's degree right now. Crazy. Just crazy, I know. We've been around a long time. We're still here. So it's great to have each of you with us. Give us your feedback. We wish actually you were all here and you were going to taste this pumpkin bread. That's what we wish.
Oh, I wish you could smell it.
That you could help us eat this, because now that it's just Steve and I, we truly are, yes, giving it away for sure.
Judy Rhodes says we're making her hungry.
Oh gosh, this is so yummy. Okay, I am going to load up.
Well, you guys didn't chime in. Maybe we should mail somebody a loaf for.
At random.
But nobody's told us what they like. So.
Yes, really. They like them all is the problem.
We have mailed the stuff around the country to relatives.
Yes, we have.
And it does. Tell them the story about our kids when they were in high school going to community college.
Oh yes, when our kids were in high school, they did AP classes at the community college, and every year, because I did the Christmas holiday baking, I would send them with some loaves, and they would give loaves to their teachers.
Some people would call that bribery.
It wasn't, though. It was just it was a kind gesture, and I think most of the teachers really knew that. And what was so cute is one teacher that had several of our kids was crossing the campus, and there was another teacher she was carrying her pumpkin bread, and there was another teacher that had several of our kids too, and they both looked at each other and said, "I know who's in your class," which is really adorable. And what was so cute is this one, Villia Thompson. She was a communications teacher at Scottsdale Community College, and she was wonderful. Our kids did not look for easy teachers. They looked for excellent teachers. And Villia Thompson was one of them. And when our youngest was finishing class with her, she said, "Are there any more?" and Abby said, "No, I'm the last one unless Mom and Dad decide to adopt again." And so I thought that was really, really cute that some of the teachers were looking for our kids, who was going to be the next one. Because they all are individuals, of course, and would pick different subjects to speak on and write papers about, and very interesting and a fun time. We got to know a lot of the really, really good teachers on that campus. So much fun. Okay, here is the last loaf. I'm finishing up. And I'm using a spoonula, and we have a whole article on spoonulas. You know, it does wreck licking the bowl, in case you have people that really like to lick the bowl, but it helps you get every last drop if you use a spoonula. And
it saves cleanup.
It does save cleanup. It definitely saves cleanup. Okay. I am going to clean out the bowl.
Let me give you a link to...
It really smells good in here. I just want you all to know. I really wish you all here for taste testing.
Okay, I'm going to give you a link to our grocery products. Because we have a grocery video. Mm-hmm. We have a grocery book. And we'd love you to check out some of our products. All of these are designed to make your life simpler, to save you money.
And time.
Yep.
Okay.
We try to be as practical as we can with what we write.
But there's people out there that look forward to our treats every year. So it's kind of fun. Okay, so here's the next batch. It's a full loaf. Can you see it? A full loaf. A 3/4 loaf. I can't turn them too much. And 2 medium. This is what I call medium size, because I have those little mini ones also that I didn't pull out for tonight. So those are going to go in just a minute. How's our baked apples doing?
They haven't cooked down yet, but we're going to come over and take a look.
Oh gosh. Oh, they smell wonderful also. Wow, really yummy. Yes, you should definitely come over and look at these baked apples.
I am looking at them.
Can you see them?
Yep,
Can you all see our baked apples? They are really, really yummy.
So they'll boil down probably for another 15 or 20 minutes.
Yes, it's going to take a while, but then they'll be ready, and you just serve them as a side dish. So they're great. Anytime with anything. A lot of times when the kids have come over here on a Sunday for lunch, we'll just serve them, like we'll make a big pot of macaroni and cheese with cut up hot dogs, and we'll have baked apples if it's the winter time. So just a ton of fun. Okay, let me check these loaves of bread. What?
Ohona Maka says, you guys always have the best recipes, like that chocolate lava cake.
Oh, yeah. Not yet.
So the bread is not ready yet.
No,
Okay.
the bread is not ready.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to sign off. And thank you for joining us tonight. It was great to be with each of you. And remember, check out our website. Check out our grocery book. Cut your grocery bill in half, which you really can do if you spend a little bit of time working on that. So this is Annette and Steve Economides from MoneySmartFamily.com signing off, and we will see you next week.
Next week we might be in the kitchen, or we might be in some other part of the house.
That's true. I don't think we figured out next week, but I do think next week is going to be on Saturday in the afternoon instead of on a Friday night. But tonight is Friday night date night with Steve and Annette Economides. And thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.